What if the sun suddenly disappeared? Would Earth notice instantly? What would happen to gravity? And why would humanity have exactly 8 minutes before everything changed forever? Right now, every second of life on Earth depends on a giant nuclear star located 150 million kilometers away. But what if it vanished? Not exploded, not dimmed, simply disappeared. The sun is not just a bright object in the sky. It is the energy source behind nearly everything on Earth. Its gravity holds the solar system together. Its light powers weather, oceans, plants, and life itself. Every second, the sun converts about 600 million tons of hydrogen into helium through nuclear fusion. This process releases enormous amounts of energy. A tiny fraction of that energy reaches Earth, and that tiny fraction powers an entire planet. The sun is approximately 150 million kilometers away from Earth. Light travels incredibly fast, around 300,000 kilometers per second. Even at that speed, sunlight still requires about 8 minutes and 20 seconds to reach Earth. That means whenever you look at the sun, you are actually seeing it as it was 8 minutes ago. The same applies to gravity. According to Albert Einstein and general relativity, changes in gravity also travel at the speed of light. This detail changes everything. If the sun suddenly disappeared right now, Earth would not notice immediately. For approximately 8 minutes, the sky would look normal, sunlight would continue arriving, gravity would continue pulling Earth in orbit. People would continue driving cars, planes would continue flying, birds would continue moving through the sky. Humanity would have no idea that the solar system's central star no longer existed, because information cannot travel faster than light. Then, suddenly, the sun disappears from the sky. Not slowly, instantly. Day becomes night across the entire sunlit side of Earth. The moon also disappears shortly afterward because it reflects sunlight. The planets vanish from view. The sky becomes darker than anything most humans have ever experienced. Not city darkness, not nighttime. True cosmic darkness. At the exact same moment sunlight disappears, gravity disappears too. Earth is no longer orbiting the sun. Instead of moving in a curved path, Earth begins traveling in a straight line through space. This happens because planets are constantly falling around the sun due to gravity. Without gravity, there is no orbit. The entire solar system collapses dynamically. Planets drift away. Asteroids lose stable paths. Comets travel unpredictably. The cosmic structure holding everything together disappears instantly. At first, Earth would not freeze immediately. The atmosphere and oceans store enormous amounts of heat, but temperatures would begin dropping quickly. Within hours, surface temperatures fall below freezing in many regions. Solar-powered systems fail. Photosynthesis stops globally. Plants can no longer convert sunlight into energy. This is the beginning of a chain reaction affecting all life. Almost every ecosystem on Earth ultimately depends on sunlight. Plants die first, then herbivores, then predators. Ocean ecosystems also begin collapsing because microscopic phytoplankton stop photosynthesis. Without sunlight, Earth's biosphere slowly shuts down. After about 1 week, average global temperature falls below -17 degrees Celsius. Most surface water begins freezing. Massive storms and atmospheric changes occur. Electricity grids struggle worldwide. Humanity becomes completely dependent on artificial heat and energy. Cities begin failing. Transportation collapses. Food shortages spread rapidly. Not immediately. This is one of the most misunderstood parts. Water stores heat extremely well. The oceans would freeze from the top downward. Ice layers would form on the surface. But deep oceans could remain liquid for a long time due to internal Earth heat, pressure, thermal insulation from ice layers. Some deep-sea organisms near hydrothermal vents might survive for thousands or even millions of years because they do not rely directly on sunlight.
Humanity would attempt to survive underground. Possible shelters include nuclear-powered bunkers, geothermal facilities, deep underground cities. Countries with advanced energy infrastructure might survive longer. But global civilization would fundamentally change. Agriculture becomes nearly impossible. Artificial lighting systems would consume enormous energy. Most of Earth's surface becomes uninhabitable.
Interestingly, Earth itself produces heat internally. Radioactive decay inside the planet generates geothermal energy. This means Earth would not instantly become as cold as space. Deep underground environments could remain relatively warm. This is why underground microbial life could survive long after the sun disappears.
Every planet would leave orbit. Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune all begin drifting through interstellar space. Moons may remain orbiting their planets temporarily due to local gravity, but the solar system itself no longer exists as a stable system. It becomes a collection of rogue worlds moving through darkness. Interestingly, rogue planets already exist in the universe. Astronomers have discovered planets drifting freely without stars. Some may have been ejected from their systems long ago. Earth itself would become one of them, a frozen rogue planet traveling endlessly through interstellar space.
Not realistically. The sun outputs around 386 billion trillion watts of energy. Human civilization uses only a microscopic fraction of that. Even all nuclear reactors combined could not replace solar energy on a planetary scale. Artificial survival might work temporarily, but rebuilding Earth's entire energy balance is beyond current technology. One of the most devastating effects would not be physical. It would be psychological. For billions of years, humans evolved under sunlight. Suddenly losing daylight, sunrises, blue skies would deeply affect human behavior and mental health. Human civilization has always depended emotionally and biologically on the sun.
Most people think of the sun as just another star, but Earth exists in an extremely delicate balance. If Earth were slightly farther away, oceans freeze. Slightly closer, oceans evaporate. Life exists because of an incredibly precise relationship between Earth and the sun.
Stars are not permanent. Even our sun will eventually die. In around 5 billion years, the sun will expand into a red giant, possibly consume Mercury and Venus, maybe even Earth. Eventually, it will collapse into a white dwarf. So while the sudden disappearance of the sun is fictional, the death of the sun itself is real.
So what happens if the sun disappears for 8 minutes? For 8 minutes? Nothing. Then, suddenly, light vanishes. Gravity disappears. Earth leaves orbit. Temperatures collapse. Civilization begins to fail. All because of the loss of one star. And perhaps the strangest realization is this. Every sunrise on Earth is part of an invisible cosmic connection between our planet and a nuclear star 150 million kilometers away. A connection so important that without it, our entire world would become a frozen planet drifting endlessly through darkness.